Ladies and gentlemen, today I'm going to drop a video that you would like to watch. So this video is meant for nurses who want to do NCLEX by themselves, like self-sponsored candidates, because I've been getting lots of DMs, lots of calls to ask me what do I need to do. So this is a step-by-step NCLEX pathway for Kenyan nurses or international nurses who wants to do NCLEX without an agency. Why is this important? Number one, NCLEX is the gateway to practice in the US. It is the door that you need to unlock. And number two, many nurses get stuck due to unclear steps. So this guide is going to give clarity. That's what you need. Everything needs to be very clear. I'm going to break down the cost of each step, and I'm going to give some timelines, how long each step is likely to take. So if you want to do NCLEX by yourself, either now or in the future, this is the video to watch until the end. And if you know someone who would benefit from this information, please share. Now, it goes without saying that please subscribe, share, and what else? And like. Yes, and like this. So let's go straight into it. The step one, this is somebody who you want to start. First of all, you need to be a nurse. You need to, by that I mean, you need to have done your nursing council exam. You have your valid license. Okay, so that's what you need, and of course you need money, and we are going to break down each. So let's quickly get after it. So step one, this is the first time you're starting. Where are you starting from, Josh? I don't know where to start from. What do I need to do? So the very first step is we called credential evaluation. We need your transcripts. We need your college or your degree to be credentialed. What that means, we need your papers sent to an organization that is going to evaluate them and make them, or rather declare that your college certificate is on the same par with somebody who studied nursing in the US. Does that make sense? So you go to your computer, the website, type True Merit, TRUMERIT. So you guys, you need notes. Please get notes. Some of these things I wrote them down so that I can be clear step by step. So get your pen and paper and write these things down. This is one of those videos that you want to revisit again and again so that you can get everything that you need. Are we clear? All right. So this organization used to be called CGFNS. It's the same thing. You can also type CGFNS. It's nowadays called True Merit. So it's the same thing. All right. So you go there. What do? You create an account. You need to create an account, and this account is going to be very helpful, not only now but in the years to come. Okay, so that's the first thing you do. You create an account. So they are going to ask you all your details, your name, your email address, and everything there. It's simple, step by step. All right, so what you're doing in this step, after you have made that account, after you've created that account, is going to ask you to submit things online. Okay, it's going to ask you to submit transcripts, your college transcripts, your nursing transcripts, okay, nursing school transcripts. Going to ask you to upload your nursing license, a valid nursing license. Okay, and then it's going to ask you your high school certificate. Okay, so you're going to submit these things into that account, and then at this point it's going to ask you to download a form. There's a form right there that you're going to take to your to two places, so you make a copy. One goes to your college, one goes to nursing council. Okay, so what that means is these forms, you're going to submit them to nursing college because they have guidelines on how the school is supposed to send the actual transcripts, the physical transcripts. You submitted online. Now you also need the physical transcripts to be sent all the way to the address they're going to give you, okay, wherever their offices are. So it's going to give you it's going to give the school guidelines. So you're going to download those forms as well. Okay, it has instructions how the hard copy transcripts are going to be submitted. All right, so you download that one, and at this point, one important thing you need to know before you submit these things is going to ask you for fees. So you're going to spend $485. Let's start by that. That's about 60 what? That's about 63,000 right now. The dollar changes from time to time, so that is pretty much step one. Okay, so you register with CGFNS, you submit, and you download this form. Okay, so the next thing you're going to do in this process, you're going to take that form to your nursing school where you studied. For me, I took it to Baraton. That's where I studied university. Okay, and they're aware about these things. Okay, so you give them this form. There's somewhere you need to sign, and so they are going to get your transcripts. If you have your transcripts, it's going to be cheaper. I think for us, you had one chance to get new transcripts. After that, you need to pay some fee. So whoever was giving me this information, big up Irene for all this information that you gave me, the latest information that I have right now, because she is in the process of doing these things. She told me she had to spend a thousand Kenyan shillings. Sorry about that, it's my 5 o'clock alarm. So she had to spend 1,000 shillings to get new transcripts. Okay, so you take them to your school and they're going to seal them in an envelope and send them to CGFNS. Are we together? I hope I'm not confusing anybody at this point. Okay, so they're going to ask you to pay about 5,000 Kenyan shillings for processing of this fee of these transcripts. Okay, we are the nursing school level. The nursing school level, yes. And then to send it to CGFNS, they're either going to give those papers to you well sealed, not tampered, or they send them those papers themselves. Okay, so if they give them to you, you're going to spend about the same amount of money again, another 5,000 shillings, go to DHL and send them. Okay, and over time, as you'll be looking at your logging, because you create an account, they'll tell you if they have received. It takes about 3 days, working days, to receive those documents. Okay, are we together? That point, so two options. The school can send those forms, or they can give them to you. You send them without tampering them, without opening. They are well sealed, stamped everywhere. They have instruction on how they are doing that, so that they can send them over. All right, so you've spent 10,000 at that point, or about there. Now you go to Nursing Council of Kenya. There you're going to spend about 12,000 shillings or more. It is more if you did a college, KRCHN, and then you went up and did a BSN. So you're going to submit both of these forms, can be more than 12,000. Okay, at the time I'm making this video. All right, in 2025. So you're going to pay them that amount, 12,000, and then they'll do everything for you. They'll process those documents, that is the nursing license and the nursing certificate. So what you are taking there are copies of your nursing license and copies of the nursing certificate, your ID. Okay, so they're going to process them and send them as well. So they're going to give you, that's going to cost you about 12,000 Kenyan shillings. Over there, when you go there, they're going to give you a form to fill to say where are you going, why, and some other details. It's a simple form. It won't affect anything, so just fill it. All right? So that is step one. So this step is very critical because it determines how fast the process can be. So make sure everything is valid, it's available, have all the information that you need, and send them. It may take up to 3 months for everything from the day you start to everything to getting submitted, and sometimes more than 3 months, depending on what they need, because True Merit has to go through all the curriculum that you went through to see, do you really qualify, are there some hours that are missing, and things like those. So once you submit that, you wait. As you wait for them to conclude or to create a report, CES report as we call it, you go to step 2. All right, so let's see step 2. What does step 2 say? Step 2 says you apply with the board of nursing. All right, so you need to have a board of nursing in mind, because we have like many states in the US. So I don't know where you want to go. So you need to have a board of nursing. Like for me, it was Texas. For someone else, could be New Mexico. Okay, so have in mind which board of nursing you want to have a license under. Okay, so let's say for example it's Texas. So you go online again, type Texas Board of Nursing, BON, or New Mexico, BON. Okay, there's an application fee. You need to apply to do to get a license under that board. So there's an application fee, about $150. Okay, and within this step, they're going to ask for fingerprints. Let me see if I got that correct. Yes. All right, yes. Fingerprint application and processing. So the good thing is they're going to give you step by step what you need to do. So don't get worried. If you get confused, just go there. Step by step, they're going to tell you what you need. So they're going to ask you to send them fingerprints because they need to do a background check. All right, so that's some other, that's gonna cost you some money as well. Outside the 150 application fee, you need to have another about $50, for them to do the fingerprints and the background check. And there is a $25, they call it jurisprudence exam. That is, I think, only for Texas. For New Mexico, there's no this exam. It's just a basic exam. People don't usually fail. It's just a basic exam that you need to pay for you to be able to practice in Texas. Okay, so are we together? So that's about $215 at this point in this step. All right, so the tip is do this while the CES is being processed. Okay, so don't wait for them to finish, because they need to know where they are going to take that CES. They need to know which board of nursing. Okay, now this nurse he's qualified to practice in the US. We need this report to be sent somewhere to a board of nursing. So this one needs to be ready before they finish. So that's a tip, okay, for you to move swiftly. Are we together? Because that's the end of step 2. Step 2 is pretty Is it so? But as we process the fingerprints, let me mention something. So they'll tell you that they'll send you the fingerprints, but sometimes it takes too long, or they don't even send them. Okay, so those forms, those fingerprint forms are available. They are available. Just as you can ask around, you can you can text me. I know they're available. You can get them. You can buy them. There's some places they are free. Get those. It's just cards, and then take them to DCI. Get your fingerprints taken, because they have specific instructions how they are taken and where to send them. No, that's why I want to introduce something called a website called IdentGo. ID. That's why I told you need a pen and paper. I'll spell this for you. IDENTOGO. Okay, so this is where you register, so that this is the organization that does the background check. All right, so this is where they're going to give you instructions where these forms are going to be sent. Okay, so once you're at this stage, quickly get these forms, get your fingerprints, send them. And so this IdentGo, once it has done the background check, it's going to send the report to your board of nursing. Say there is no criminal record about this guy, he's free to continue with the process. All right, send them to via DHL or whichever form, and send them to that board of nursing. They're gonna send it to. They're going to give you an address you have to send them. All right, are we together until that point? Yes. So that is step 2. Step 3 is now NCLEX registration. See, there are so many moving parts. NCLEX registration. So we are going to register with Pearson VUE. Pearson VUE. Okay. How do you register with Pearson VUE? So you go again to online and type Pearson VUE. PEARSON VUE. All right, there you are going to spend $200 or thereabout, $215 or $200, whatever it is right now. That's an exam fee, and $150 as international scheduling fee. All right, so that's about $350 or thereabout scheduling fee. Okay, so you register with that, and then you wait for the authorization to test. I think I got that correct, right? Let me see. Let me just confirm. Yeah. So they're going to give you the authorization to test. Okay, so you register with this Pearson VUE, you pay their money, and then you wait. This one takes like what? I think a few days, like within a week. They're going to give you authorization to test. I could be wrong, but it doesn't take too long. So you get the authorization to test, and when they give you that authorization to test, that's when now you book your NCLEX. Are we together? I hope I'm not confusing anybody, because stage 3 is not too crazy. The NCLEX registration, wait for authority to test, what we call ATT. Okay, so the ATT sent once the board of nursing has approved everything, and for Texas you have 90 days to have done that exam. For New Mexico, up to 6 months. See, there's a difference. Yeah, so you have that period to prepare and to have taken that exam. Okay, so excuse me, so it's up to you. I think there are some advantages of New Mexico. It doesn't have that jurisprudence. What was the name? Prediction. What was the name of that exam? jurisprudence exam, the $25. New Mexico doesn't have that. Number two, New Mexico gives you up to 6 months to prepare for that exam. That's interesting, right? The only thing I was told about New Mexico is they require a phone number, a US-based phone number. Apparently, they don't do anything about it. Just get a phone number, ask a friend, or get a way to go around that step. Okay, so that you don't spend too much time trying to go around it. Okay, so get that. You get that authority to test, valid for 90 days, and use it to book your exam. All right. So the total cost, the CGFNS $45, the application fees, Board of Nursing, the NCLEX, the booking of NCLEX and everything, it gets up to about $1,200 or thereabout. All right, that's like over I wanna say like 150,000 Kenyan shillings. What is it? Let's see. What is 1,200 dollars right now? About that amount. Let me see if the dollar goes at 130 Kenyan shilling. Let's see. It's about 156,000 or 160,000 or thereabout. Okay, it could be higher. It could be higher or less. But let me tell you, before you start saying it's too much, there was a time people had to go to South Africa. People had to go to India. That was way more expensive. So in Kenya, we have a testing center. We are very grateful about it. So take advantage of it. Do this exam. So if you want to know about the resources, because this is just about NCLEX, you haven't prepared. You haven't prepared for the NCLEX exam itself. You need the resources. Okay, you're not just going to depend on your Kenyan books. So there are a few resources I can give you here. Let's see, do I have them? So people use Archers, people use UWorld, depending on what you need. UWorld is more expensive. Archers, they give you readiness assessment, some cards, and for 2 months, because it depends how long you want to subscribe it for 2 months, about 13,000. So this is another course that you need to be aware of. Okay, so this thing can easily get you to 200,000 Kenyan shillings. Okay, if you are doing it alone. But there are advantages of doing this exam alone. Remember, when you're with an agency, you are signing a contract with them. They are going to spend most of this money, if not all, on you. They are going to go at their own pace. And when you get here, you're going to pay them back. So if you can get hold of these 200,000 Kenyan shillings and go ahead and do the exam yourself, you're gonna go faster, and then you're gonna spend less time in the US to pay for an agency. Remember, you will still need an agency, because immigration process, you're not going to do that alone. You either need an agency or a direct hire hospital, okay, for that. But this is the initial steps for you to get you to do the NCLEX. You do the NCLEX, you do the IELTS. All right, now you're ready. So for guys who want to come to the US and they're in school right now, what you need to do, you need to have this in mind. Start saving up. Start telling your guardians, your support group, I need this money, and prepare them if you want to come, so that once you get all this paperwork. And you see, sometimes with agencies have some strict rules. Like right now, Avant is very strict. They need you to be employed in a particular type of hospital with a certain bed capacity. and you need to prove that you're working there. They need a pay slip. They need I'm told you they need a duty roster to show that you actually work there, you know. And some agencies will need some particular period of time that you've worked. So if you are a nurse and who is maybe not in these big hospitals yet, but you want to do NCLEX, go ahead and do it because it doesn't expire. Get your license and get your agency thereafter, or a direct hire, and then the process will be moving on smoothly. Now, this information was not available back in the day. Take advantage of it. Share, like this video, and subscribe, and let me know if there's any confusion. I'm always reachable on TikTok, on Facebook, on here on YouTube, Josh Mogash. Okay, as simple as that. So someone was mentioning there's another review that is coming up called NCLEX that has review questions, and I'm told it is very resourceful, like NCLEX. I don't know so much about it, but once I get more information about this, I'll mention it. So that is me to you. Less than 27 minutes of this video. I hope it was very helpful. Let me know what else you want to learn about this journey about coming. And if you have not watched the clips that I made about spouses of nurses coming to the US, because right now we are focusing on you as a nurse, but if you are married, you have a spouse, or you're intending to have a spouse in the near future, you also need to help them get prepared for this journey. Okay, please watch them. They'll be somewhere on my YouTube channel. Welcome and watch them. They'll give you tons of valuable information for free. I'm not charging for this one. For free. Take advantage of it. Until next time. Bye.